Hello, my name is Dr. Brooke Goldner, and I'm a board-certified physician, and I am specialized in disease reversal using nutrition. Now, before I ever became a doctor, I actually was a patient. I was diagnosed at 16 years old with lupus. I had stage 4 kidney failure. I had blood clots that caused mini strokes. I endured years of chemotherapy and steroids just to survive. Now, all I've ever learned never helped me with my health. It was always about survival. I did 3 years of genetic research at Carnegie Mellon. I went to medical school. I was chief resident, and yet I still needed medicine to survive. 12 years I was sick. And then 15 years ago, I changed my diet to a plant-based diet. I got rid of dairy, no animal products, and within 3 months, the lupus was gone. I have been healthy for 15 years with no sign of disease. I've had children, and I've dedicated my life to this.
That was Dr. Brooke Goldner giving her testimony at the USDA Dietary Guidelines Committee, fighting on behalf of the public to encourage them to stop giving into pressure from industries and instead do what is right for human health. Another doctor, Shireen Kassam, the founder of Plant-Based Health Professionals in the UK, concluded that if everyone in the UK cut out meat, it could reduce healthcare expenditure by at least £30 billion. This is what a sausage under a microscope looks like. Pigs lack the sweat glands. Humans do, meaning they are a breeding ground for waste and debris. They also eat their own feces and feed off rodents. Where do you think that goes? You can choose to live in a lie your entire life or keep watching this to find out the truth now and save yourself years of sickness.
If you put a dead body, a used condom, anything in front of a pig, it's going to eat it. Their diet and their environment is disgusting. Leads to toxin builds up in their body. And why is this a problem? Because imagine not being able to sweat. Like ever. Every other animal we eat has sweat glands. Only that they have some basic bitch digestive system where they eat and it comes out within 4 hours. Just for context, our body takes 2 to 5 days to do that. And respectfully, we ain't eating shit. So how are they removing toxins? Well, it's not through urine because their uric system only removes 2%. And where does the other 98% go? In the nasty ass meat that you're eating. These motherfuckers carry so many bacterial and viral infections. Have you ever had trick or tapeworm? Yeah, they're parasites from the pork that you eat. Parasites that cause pain, fever, permanent nerve damage. I cook all my meat well done. Yeah, some bacteria dies during the cooking process. But do you know what doesn't? Heavy metals, toxins, and hormones that get stored inside the pig fat. The nastiness people love to munch on. About crackling and pigs in blankets. Imagine taking pork and wrapping it in more pork. Madness. Pork contains crazy amounts of saturated fat. Imagine eating 2 slices of bacon or 2 sausages and you've already maxed out your saturated fat at breakfast. Ever had boils or cysts or suffer with really bad acne? Yeah. Probably from the build-up of toxins due to being a dirty swine eater. Last and definitely not least, pork is loaded with nitrites and nitrates. The proven preservative for cancer formation. Deep it, take it in. The thing that develops bad cancer cells is what is laced in your pork meat. You're literally eating straight up cancer fuel. Madness.
In India, there are rising cases of vegetarians with diabetes, and that's because of the dairy products they're eating, as well as the overuse of oils, and the combination of those two things is what's driving the diabetes epidemic. Now, India has become the country with the second highest rates of diabetes in the world just after China. The general misconception is that diabetes is caused by sugar, but it's not.
Sugar and carbohydrates are not the cause of diabetes. High blood sugar is the result of diabetes. The cause of diabetes is lack of insulin or insulin resistance. And so we need to understand the cause of insulin resistance is fat. Now, fat is found in oil, ghee, butter, but fat is also found in all animal products.
It's also bad fat. It's the saturated fat that's linked to heart disease and linked to Alzheimer's disease. And doctors like me are afraid that we are sowing the seeds of more and more epidemics all the time. Not just diabetes, not just heart disease, but prostate cancer, Alzheimer's disease, the things that come from eating a diet that's loaded with dairy products.
These holes on this brain MRI aren't holes, they're parasites. Can you guess what it's from? This is neurocysticercosis, and it's caused from eating undercooked meats. This person ate parasitic eggs hidden in pork that then hatched all over the body, including the brain.
I've never seen anyone get parasite in their brain from eating undercooked tofu or vegetables. Have you?
This meat didn't come from an animal raised on a farm, but from a bioreactor. It is known as a lab-grown meat, which is cultivated in a lab from animal cells, eliminating the need to raise and slaughter animals. Here, identical stem cells are cloned, increasing the number every 2 to 3 days by a factor of 2 to 5. This pulp of cells is then transferred into even larger tanks, adding what everybody needs to grow: minerals, vitamins, fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, all plant-based. The cells still have to be shaped to become meat. They grow into a plant-based frame where they get their meaty texture.
Inside of this, you have hundreds of millions of cells. This is the foundation of the chicken. This is what it is, basically. This is our entire chicken product. We did not genetically modify these cells. They're what's called spontaneously immortalized, so they're able to grow indefinitely.
This is a more sustainable, healthier, and non-cruel alternative for the people who absolutely refuse to give up eating meat because of the taste. This way, they get to still enjoy the taste, but with no animal cruelty or insane levels of pollution involved. But of course, people always find something negative to say about every solution to a problem. They try to argue that vegan alternatives are quote-unquote unnatural, ultra-processed, and filled with chemicals, and yet we can't even drink dairy milk unless it's been pasteurized. This creator calls out their hypocrisy perfectly.
I mean, I'm quite a health-conscious guy. Well, not in regards to things like heart disease and cancer, but I don't want to grow soy tits. And where am I going to get my protein? Not to mention vitamin B12. I don't want to take a bunch of supplements. That's so unnatural. I'd rather feed those same supplements to farm animals, grow them in cages, and gas them to death with carbon dioxide so I can buy them in a plastic container from the meat aisle of a supermarket and drive home to fry on my induction hob. It's called the circle of life.
Vegans will combine 10 carcinogens with 50 industrial chemicals to make food instead of just having steak.
And non-vegans attempt to demonize plant-based mock products by using buzzwords as opposed to citing health outcome data like this, showing that Beyond Meat actually did better than organic meat, including grass-fed beef. Or like this. They also don't like to talk about the ridiculous environmental impact of animal agriculture compared to the environmental impact of plant agriculture, and how switching to a plant-based food system could potentially reduce our land use by 76% and greenhouse gas emissions, acidification, and eutrophication by nearly 50%. But hey, let's get our information from this dating app for conservatives rather than scientific evidence. Amazing.
And then they try to come for the taste of vegan alternatives as if what gives meat its savory taste isn't all plants anyway. Some vegan meat alternatives have even been said to taste better than the original animal product. In the world's largest blind taste test, with 1,150 people with omnivorous diets, plant-based nuggets outdid the classic chicken nugget. The study was conducted by Food System Innovations.
Why call it vegan fried chicken? Why not just call it fried tofu or fried mushrooms? Another common question I get, and for the folks who are genuinely curious, here's an answer. Let's say you liked fried chicken, but we're going to stop eating it for ethical or environmental reasons. You might wonder if there's a vegan version so you can still enjoy the taste and texture of one of your favorite meals. So if we do a quick search for fried tofu, here's what we get. Not exactly what I'm looking for. Fried mushrooms, same thing. But if we search vegan fried chicken, well, now that's more like it, and looks like I'm even lucky enough to live near restaurants that make it and stores that carry it. So in short, it's simply because it's the best way to describe what the dish is, and with names that people are familiar with. In fact, these kinds of recipes and products were what helped me to go vegan in the first place. Hope that clears things up.
It's funny how the people who get mad about it being called vegan burger don't get mad about it being called peanut butter, or coconut milk, or Cadbury eggs, or hot dogs. My next video will talk more about the benefits of a vegan diet and debunking some common myths about it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.